Lesson 1-4, Solving Absolute Value Equations. In this lesson, we're going to evaluate absolute value expressions and solve absolute value equations. So to start with, absolute value means for a number, this represents the distance from 0 on a number line. Okay? So when we use our symbols, so the two vertical brackets, that represents our absolute value. So the absolute value of -4 is equal to 4, and the absolute value of 4 is also 4. Because if I count 4 units from 0 to the right, we have +4, and 4 units to the left, we have -4. Okay? So remember, absolute value is asking us to find a distance, and the distance should always be positive. So this is really saying, how far is -4 from 0? Well, it's 4 units. Same thing, how far is 4 from 0? It's 4 units. So to evaluate an absolute value expression, substitute in the number, then simplify. Now again, our absolute value symbols are these vertical bars, and it's a grouping symbol. Okay, so absolute value is a grouping symbol. Now remember, you cannot distribute into an absolute value. You cannot do it. Absolute value does not mean the same thing as parentheses, so you cannot distribute in. Okay, you have to simplify what's inside first, take the absolute value of that, and then do anything on the outside of your absolute value symbol. Okay. So let's do some examples. Okay, so we're evaluating the expression for x equals -3. So we're going to substitute -3 in for x and then simplify. So absolute value of 4 times -3 plus 3, and then plus 2. So now we're doing our order of operations. So 4 times -3 is going to be -12 plus 3, still inside our absolute value, and then plus 2. So next thing, we're combining the -12 and 3 together. So -12 plus 3 is going to be -9. So absolute value of -9, and then plus 2 on the outside. So again, this is asking us how many units is -9 away from 0. So that's going to be 9 plus 2. Final answer is 11. Same thing for the next one. We're going to substitute, then simplify. So this time we are replacing all the x's with 8. So 2 times the absolute value of 8 minus 5 plus 6. So again, starting inside our absolute value, 8 minus 5 is 3. So we have 2 times the absolute value of 3, and then plus 6. So now again, we're going to take the absolute value of 3. So how many units is 3 away from 0? The answer to that is 3. So now this is going to switch to be parentheses because we've taken the absolute value of it. So 2 times 3 in parentheses plus 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And then if we add another 6 to it, we get 12 for our final answer. So again, you are not allowed to distribute into that absolute value sign. It's not going to get you the same answer every time. Some cases, yes, it will work, but most cases it will not. All right, next one. Again, we are substituting in -6 for all the x's, and this time we have 2. So 4 minus the absolute value of -6 minus 2 plus 3 times -6. So we're going to start inside the absolute value and combine those, and then we can also multiply this together at the same time. So 4 minus absolute value of -8 minus 18. So next thing we have to do is simplify our absolute value. So again, this is asking how many units is -8 away from 0, and the answer to that is 8. So this now becomes 4 minus 8 minus 18. And then we're just combining from left to right. So 4 minus 8 is -4, minus 18 is going to be -22 is our final answer. All right, last one. So looks like we have several things to substitute in. So we're replacing A with 2, B with 3, and C with -4. So 3 plus 2 times -4 times the absolute value of -3 times 2, and then plus 2 times 3. Okay, so now we're just going to start our simplifying. So we're going to simplify inside of our absolute value, and then at the same time we're also allowed to multiply the last group here and these two sets of numbers in front of our absolute value symbol. So 3 plus, and then 2 times -4 is going to be -8, so this will actually become 3 minus 8. Absolute value, -3 times 2 is -6, absolute value, plus, and then 2 times 3 is 6. So next thing we have to take care of is the absolute value. So how many units is -6 away from 0? And that answer is 6. So now we're changing the absolute value sign to parentheses. So that indicates that we've already taken the absolute value and we don't want to do that again. Okay, so here's our new one. So now we have to multiply those together. So -8 times 6 is going to be -48. So 3 minus 48 plus 6. And then again from left to right, so now 3 minus 48 is going to be -45. So -45 plus 6. So if we combine those together, our final answer is going to be -39.